Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It's yours truly, Trisha Brow Whisperer. I'm so excited to share another look with you. This is my go-to look. And what I mean is if I have to go anywhere and I'm not really sure what I'm wearing, it's a staple of mine. I can depend on this look and it kind of goes with everything. So thank you for tuning in. And here we go with this look. You know me, I always start with my brows. I'm using the pomade today. I brushed everything through with the spoolie, underlining the first brow. We never start right at the front, and the reason is we never want it to look very blocky or look like they've been drawn on with a marker. This is going to allow for those hair strokes to actually look more real. And considering I have barely any hairs that can show from within the makeup itself, I have to make sure that I make it look as realistic as possible. So with the pomade, the first brow, you have to be a little mindful because the first dip really is a little bit heavier no matter how much you wipe off in the cap. I'm just going to accentuate the arch to the tail. That part I don't mind it not looking like hair strokes. It's really about the front third, I'd say. While I finish this brow up, let me tell you a little bit about myself for anybody who's new to following me. My name is Trisha Brow Whisperer. And I kind of got that name when I started doing makeup kind of by accident. And it just so happened that my brows were the primary thing that I would take care of. And that was really because I was lacking brows. And what I noticed when I would practice on my friends' faces is I could do anybody's brows. It didn't matter what shape, how bushy they were. I didn't even have to wax it. I could just use the makeup itself and conceal anything to create shapes that people don't always see for themselves. So that's how I kind of got pegged the name Trisha Brow Whisperer. So let's get back to the makeup here. After I'm finished, both sides, I take my concealer. And this is one of my favorite brushes. There's nothing fantastic about it, but it's just one of the ones I've been using forever. So it's my trusty brush. It works, it moves the way I need it to. So this time I was using a lighter concealer. I made sure to only go from about just the first third I never do in that bright color. I use my foundation color or something close to it so that it blends out and we skip having to blend with eyeshadow later. So now I'm just taking, what do I use here? Oh yeah, I used the Vision Cream from Danessa Myricks. It's one of those neutral colors. And then I always use my Real Techniques brush to make sure that I blend out the concealer under the brows into the primer on the lid. So we're going in, that was my Juvia's Place palette, one of my oldies. And orange in my crease is the most flattering. So here we are. With my go-to look, I always use something in the yellow, orangey side in the crease. I use a nice fluffy brush so that upon applying, I'm blending at the same time. And then we don't have too much buffing to do later. So I'm taking a deeper orange and I'm just going in a little bit further. And then I'm taking my soft brush to make sure up into the brow is as diffused as possible, and then the skips a step later. Make sure you pull it out as well, a little further than the brows, just so it's soft. Going in on both sides. Now I'm taking the darkest brown in that same palette, and I'm using a small stippling type brush. And I'm using just small circles to create the liner and the wing, and I'm basically ending at the outer V where that natural indent ends. I take that same color underneath. I'm not big on eyeliner on my bottom waterline, and it's really just a personal preference because I have a hard time getting it out no matter how much I wash my face. So I'm taking that same brush and I'm diffusing it into the crease. This is the outer V that you'll hear me talk about. The V is not upright like when you're writing, it's to the side. And so now I'm taking the same brown and I'm using a fluffier brush and I'm just going to smoke it out a little bit. Just tapping that brown lightly so that the colors are going to fuse together seamlessly. I'm a little obsessed with blending, sometimes more than others, so I took that fluffy brush back in there one more time. And here I'm taking the gold. This is on a flathead brush. You can use whatever you like. The finish is just all that's gonna vary. If you use a puffier, fluffier brush, it's gonna be less shimmer. It's gonna be a softer finish. When you use a flat brush, you pick up more product, and then you lay that down in a patting motion, and you just get a little bit more of an enhanced look with the shine. That's kind of my style. I'm a little extra with the eyeshadow. I'm using my finger just to ensure that the blend between the two colors was a little seamless. And now we're doing the eyeliner. Sometimes I love to hate eyeliner, and it's just because the shape of my eyelids are different and the crease on my eyes are different, and so it takes me a little while at times. That's a eyeliner from MAC, and once I finish that up, I'm just taking some micellar water on a cotton pad to clean up any fallout that will remain underneath my eyes, because you can never get it out if you try to blend it in. I'm priming the skin, and you guys should kind of not assume, I'm not gonna assume you know, but having a clean base, meaning always have clean skin to start doing your makeup. Makeup doesn't sit well or last well, and if it has longevity in the foundation, it's gonna have a lot less if you try to apply it on dirty skin. So always have a clean canvas, and that means clean, hydrated, moisturized skin. So I'm going in with my foundation. This is one of those times where I'm just gonna map it out. So where I'm going to have my contour, and I'm not doing a heavy contour, that's why this color is not too dark. I'm gonna also lay down the concealer momentarily, and then I'm gonna lay down the foundation. And this way I get to blend everything out in one shot. I don't have one way to apply makeup on myself. That's how I discover what I like, what works, what doesn't work, just by playing with it. And it's always basically a vibe. So this is my MAC foundation. That is doubled as a concealer. You can use it either way. This one oxidizes a little orange on me, and I bought it in the summertime, so I have to be mindful not to use too much because I do have a neutral undertone. This time I actually put some setting spray before I blend it out. I don't always do that, but again, it was the vibe for that day. Concealer's being blended out. This is one of my Bedazzler brushes, and I don't know, something about the way this paints out foundation and concealer. There's kind of nothing like it. It's hard to describe, and it's basically the reason the brush is built the way it is. So that concealer placement was intentional so that I could carve out and clean up without having to use any makeup remover. So see, here's the bigger version to that concealer brush, and I'm just melting everything together, meaning foundation is melting into the lines where the concealer ended. And I'm using another one of those brushes, if not the same one, because there's 3 in that set. And there's the contour one. It's beautiful around the nose contour. It's a little awkward on the one side, but you just have to realize it's built differently. But being able to play with makeup the way I do, there's nothing like it. It's truly like a kid in a candy store. Mascara, some powder to set everything in. Not everybody understands that step, but it's really important if you're gonna expect your makeup to last all day. Blush. And this is setting powder. Here we go. You always gotta brush through the brows at the end, because after you do all of that blending, it softens the edges that were so nice and crisp. Got that neutral pink lip with brown liner, lashes, and ta-da. This is my go-to golden look. Kind of goes with anything. There's another lipstick that I'm pointing out here that I usually use, but I just didn't know where it is. It's a little bit more neutral. But believe me, I'll be back to show you that whole look with the right lip color. And I thank you once again for coming. Stay tuned.